February. Just saying the word brings up a very specific vibe, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does.
For some people, it's all pink hearts, reservations you can't get, and those little chocolate boxes.
And what's you buy at the pharmacy at the last minute?
Totally. It's the Hallmark Olympics. But, let's be real, for a massive chunk of the population, February is loud.
It's so noisy.
It feels like there's this collective pressure coming from every billboard and social media feed that just screams romance.
Right, and the subtext is usually pretty aggressive, like, if you don't have it, you're somehow broken.
Yes, or you're missing out on the main event of being human.
It's almost like a yearly performance review for your personal life, isn't it?
That is exactly what it feels like. A performance review where you didn't hit your KPIs and now everyone is watching.
Right. It's a sort of cultural audit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're single, that noise can feel less like a celebration and more like, I don't know, an interrogation.
An interrogation, yes. You get the questions from family, the why are you still single, or
have you tried this new app?
Ugh. Yes, it can be exhausting. It turns a calendar month into a stress test.
Well, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. But today, we are pivoting hard away from all that noise. We are not doing top 10 tips to get a date by Valentine's Day.
Thank goodness.
We're looking at a source that offers what I think is a fascinating counter-narrative. We're doing a deep dive into a text called Love, Alignment, and Becoming, a 28-day February devotional for singles.
And it's written by LaToya Jackson, the founder of Lesson in Every Day.
Right.
And to set the stage here immediately, this isn't a dating manual. It's not about fixing a problem so you can become marketable.
No.
The core premise is that singleness isn't a malady to be cured. This text is explicitly designed to create what the author calls a softer space.
A softer space. That phrase really stuck with me when I was reading through this. It feels very anti-hustle culture.
It does.
Usually self-help is about crushing it or optimizing. This is about softness.
It is. It frames the month not as a gap to be filled with dates or despair, but as a season to steward.
And that is a critical shift in language that we're going to spend some time unpacking.
For sure. Because words create worlds. And if you change the word waiting to stewarding, you change the entire experience.
So the mission for this deep dive is clear. We're looking at how this material reframes the concept of singleness moving from a waiting room mentality.
Where you're just reading old magazines until your number is called.
Exactly. To an active workspace for identity and faith.
Oh.
We've got a lot to cover. The psychological shift of alignment, the structure, the term helpmeet, which creates a lot of debate.
Oh, yeah.
And surprisingly, some actually funny jokes about traffic and budgeting.
Which, weirdly enough, might be the most practical spiritual advice in the whole book.
Right. Humor is a survival tool. I can't wait to get to the traffic joke. But first, let's get into the author's intent. The source material opens with this personal letter from LaToya Jackson. And she writes something that it stopped me in my tracks. She says, February can be tender.
Tender. That's a word choice that does a lot of heavy lifting.
It really does.
We usually think of February as, commercial or high stakes or just expensive. But tender acknowledges the vulnerability. It validates the bruise.
Yeah.
The author mentions her work hosting lesson and everyday Zoom singles gatherings. And she notes that she's witnessed how powerful it is when people feel seen without being sized up.
Seen without being sized up. Let's just pause on that for a second, because in the modern dating landscape, especially with apps, isn't sizing up the entire mechanic.
It is the whole game.
You look at a photo, a job title, a height requirement, and you make a snap judgment. Swipe left, swipe right. It's constant evaluation.
Exactly. It's commodification. You're assessing
Right.
value. What Jackson is arguing here is that this devotional space offers the opposite. It's a place to be seen for who you are becoming, not what you can offer a partner right now.
And that sets the philosophical groundwork for the whole month.
Right. This isn't about finding someone else. It's about finding alignment with God, with yourself, and with the life you're becoming ready for.
There's that word again. Becoming. It's in the title. It seems to be the engine driving this whole thing. It implies movement, right?
Precisely. If we look at the psychological framing here, the shift is from waiting, which is a passive state,
Waiting for a bus, waiting for the rain to stop.
waiting for a text back, right, to stewarding, which is active. You steward a garden, you steward finances, you take care of something valuable.
So this text is arguing you steward your singleness. You don't just endure it, you manage it. You grow things in it.
You do.
Okay, but let's be practical. It's easy to say steward your season in a book intro, but what does that actually look like on a rainy Tuesday morning when you're feeling lonely?
And your ex just posted a photo of someone new.
Yes. The structure of this devotional is really specific. It's set up for 28 days, which apparently matches the calendar of February 2026 perfectly.
It does. It aligns with the calendar starting on a Sunday. And on the surface, the daily format is pretty standard for a devotional title: scripture, reflection prompt, prayer. But there is a disclaimer at the very beginning that changes how you're supposed to engage with it.
Yes. The bold text, it says, "This is not a checklist, it's a rhythm."
I think that distinction is vital. In a high-pressure month, the last thing someone needs is another list of tasks they're failing out.
Oh, for sure. Did I pray enough? Did I reflect enough?
Exactly. The text explicitly encourages you to write one word, one prayer, or nothing at all.
Nothing at all is a brave instruction for a devotional. It feels like permission to just exist.
It is. It prioritizes presence over productivity. It's trying to break that cycle of earning your worth through spiritual performance.
It goes back to that softer space.
It does. If you miss a day, you haven't failed. You just pick up the rhythm again. It treats you like a human being, not a project.
So let's get into the actual content. We combed through the 28 days and pulled out the ones that gave us those aha moments.
The insights that go beyond just be patient.
Right. And we have to start with day 1. The title is Anchored, and the scripture is Colossians 2:7.
And the metaphor used on day 1 is it's foundational to the rest of the book. It says, before love grows outward, it must grow downward.
That is such a good visual. It's agricultural.
It connects stability to being rooted in Christ. The argument is that you can't sustain a horizontal relationship growing outward toward another person if you don't have the vertical root system growing downward first.
It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a swamp. You need that bedrock.
You do.
If you try to build the relationship structure without the character foundation, the first storm just knocks it over.
And usually, that storm is just a simple disagreement about where to eat dinner.
So true. Or a crisis of identity. If you don't know who you are in the roots, you'll look for someone else to tell you who you are in the branches.
And that is way too much weight for another human to carry.
Oh, yeah. That leads directly into day 2, where the theme is stillness. Now, be honest, how good are you at sitting in absolute silence?
Oh, terrible. My brain immediately starts making grocery lists or replaying arguments from 2014.
Same. I'm the person who listens to a deep dive while brushing my teeth. If it's too quiet, I feel like I'm wasting time, or that I'm alone with my thoughts, which can be scary.
You are definitely not alone in that. We live in a dopamine-driven economy.
Yeah.
But the source addresses that fear of silence directly. It defines stillness in a way I found really compelling.
What's the definition?
Stillness is not empty. It's attentive.
Stillness is not empty. It's attentive. Let's unpack that.
Well, it reframes silence.
Right.
It's not the absence of noise. It's the presence of listening.
Okay.
If you're constantly surrounded by the loudness of February, the ads, the complaints, the rom-coms, you can't hear the internal signals you need. You can't hear God. You can't even hear your own intuition. You're just reacting.
Speaking of intuition and signals, let's jump to day 6. The title is Peace. And this is where the writing style really grabbed me because it mixes deep theology with, modern dating slang.
It does.
The text says, peace is a green flag.
I circled that 3 times in my notes. In modern dating, we obsess over red flags, signs of danger, narcissism, inconsistency.
We're hyper-vigilant for threats.
We're trained to be detectives of dysfunction, but we rarely discuss what a green flag, a sign to proceed, actually feels like.
We're trained to think a green flag feels like fireworks, or butterflies, or that feeling where you can't eat.
Right, the Hollywood model. High anxiety masquerading as chemistry. But this devotional argues that peace is the signal. The reflection question for that day is, does this bring peace or pressure?
That's a filter you can apply to everything.
Everything. A job offer, a friendship, a financial decision. Is the dominant emotion peace, or is it pressure?
And if it's pressure, it's usually trying to force a fit.
Peace usually indicates alignment. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it ties back to day 8, which is about boundaries. The text states, boundaries protect what matters.
I think people often view boundaries as walls, like, I'm putting this up to keep you out because I'm mad.
Correct. We see them as punitive or defensive. But this source frames them as protective circles around your growth. It's like a fence around a young sapling.
Okay, yeah.
You aren't baiting the fence to be mean to the deer. You're building it so the tree can actually grow. The question asked is, what boundary honors my growth?
It's not just about saying no to bad things, it's about protecting the becoming process.
Exactly.
And speaking of days where boundaries might be needed, day 14, Valentine's Day, the Super Bowl of romance.
The big one.
How does a devotional for singles handle the big day without being cheesy or bitter? Because it's so easy to fall into that single awareness day sarcasm.
Right. It avoids the sarcasm and goes for a very specific pivot and focus.
Yeah.
The theme for day 14 is loved. But notice the tense past tense, loved.
An accomplished fact.
It uses Romans 8.38-39. And the key contrast drawn here is between human relationship fluctuations and God's consistency. The text says God's love does not fluctuate.
And think about how radical that is in the context of dating. Human romance is defined by fluctuation.
Totally.
Yeah.
Will they call? Won't they call? Do they like me? Did I mess up?
Did I have spinach in my teeth?
Right. It's a roller coaster of validation. So grounding yourself in a love that is static, immovable, and non-performance based provides a security that a dinner date on February 14th simply cannot offer.
It anchors you back to day one.
It's all connected.
Now, before we get too heavy, we promised we'd talk about the humor, because when I saw a page titled Light and Loving February Joy page, I was a little skeptical. I thought, oh no, here come the dad jokes.
I admit Christian humor can sometimes be a little safe.
A little safe, yeah.
But laughter is a critical mechanism for coping and perspective. The source material explicitly states laughter is part of healing.
I buy that.
If you can't laugh at the absurdity of modern dating or the struggles of singleness, you just become bitter. And bitterness is a heavy coat to wear.
Okay, here is my favorite one from the list. It says, God is working on me and my patience in traffic.
Relatable on a spiritual level.
And this one, which hits a little too close to home for anyone living alone, singleness taught me how to pray and budget.
That is actually a profound point wrapped in a joke. It touches on the practical independence required in that season.
You don't have a dual income. You don't have someone to split the bills with.
You have to rely on God and your own spreadsheet. It's a forging process.
And then there's the hydration one. God said, wait, so I hydrated.
It's lighthearted, but it points to self-care. Instead of agonizing over the weight, you focus on your well-being. Drink some water.
Right. Take a nap. Treat yourself like a temple, not a waiting room. There is also a video script included in the source material. Still single, still secure. And the host in the video makes this joke. 1 minute you're saying God's timing is perfect. The next minute you're like, Lord, are you sure you have my address?
That touches on the very real frustration of the waiting season. It validates the feeling of being forgotten without staying stuck in it. It acknowledges the oscillation between faith and frustration. But the video immediately follows up with a quote that I think grounds the humor. Security in God is better than certainty in people. That is a bumper sticker waiting to happen. Security in God is better than certainty in people. It's so good. It encapsulates the entire message, really. Certainty in people is fragile. People change. Circumstances change.
People ghost.
People evolve. Security is internal and vertical. If you have that, the uncertainty of people doesn't rock your boat as much.
This leads us perfectly into the heavy lifting of the devotional, the concept of the helpmeet. Now, we need to be careful here because this is a loaded term.
Extremely loaded.
For a lot of people, helpmeet, which comes from Genesis in the Bible, is often interpreted in very specific, sometimes subservient ways.
Right. It brings up images of 1950s housewives or being a helper to a man's main mission. It can feel diminishing.
So how does LaToya Jackson define it?
Well, she flips the script completely. She reclaims the term. The section is titled, From Singles to Helpmeet, Becoming Before Building. And her definition is entirely about internal character, not domestic utility.
Let's read the definition from the source. It says, a helpmeet is someone who is whole, aware, grounded, and aligned.
Notice what's missing from that list.
Cooking, cleaning, keeping quiet.
Exactly. It's not about what you do for someone else. It's about who you are.
I love that.
The source emphasizes that a helpmeet is not someone who disappears, meaning you don't lose your identity in someone else. You bring a whole, fully formed identity to the table. You help because you are strong, not because you are subservient.
That is huge, because so often preparation for marriage is taught as learning how to compromise. And while compromise is important, this is arguing that preparation is actually learning how to be solid.
Yes, and to get there, the text provides these check-in questions. They call it a self-audit. And one of them stopped me cold.
Which one?
Am I dating from wholeness or loneliness?
Oof. That is the uncomfortable question. That is the one you ask at 2 a.m.
It's the diagnostic question. If you were dating from loneliness, you're looking for a painkiller. You're looking for someone to numb the ache of being alone.
But if you're dating from wholeness,
you're looking for a partner to build with. Those are two completely different energy states.
the devotional also urges the reader to invite God into my desires and asks, am I emotionally responsible?
Am I emotionally responsible? That is a grown-up question it asks. Can I handle my own emotions, or am I expecting someone else to regulate them for me?
Like, make me happy, make me feel secure.
Right. That's outsourcing your emotional work.
Yeah.
And it connects to day 22 of the devotional, where the theme is preparation. The mantra there is, preparation precedes promise.
Preparation precedes promise. It's a principle of physics, almost.
Right.
You don't build the roof before the walls.
Exactly. The idea is that you don't get the outcome before you do the groundwork. You don't build the house before the foundation is cured.
So if you get the promise, the relationship, before you are prepared, you might actually crush the relationship under the weight of your own unresolved issues.
So if you're skipping the work, the healing, the boundary setting, the stillness, you aren't actually ready for the thing you're asking for. You might get it, but you won't be able to keep it.
And the text says, becoming prepared is holy work.
Yes, it elevates the status of the single season from a waiting period to a training ground. It makes the time matter.
I love that shift. It gives you agency. You aren't just sitting there. You are working. You are becoming. You are leveling up.
And that brings us to the end of the journey, day 28.
Day 28. The title is Alignment. We've circled back to the title of the book.
We have. And the core message on the final day is, alignment brings peace. It references Matthew 6.33. Seek first the kingdom.
And the conclusion is fascinating because the goal wasn't to get a ring by day 28.
Spoiler alert, the book doesn't promise a husband on page 28.
No coupon code for a spouse in the back.
No refund if you're still single. The goal was to get aligned. The promise isn't a person, the promise is peace.
And the argument is, if you are aligned, if your vertical relationship is solid, the peace will follow, regardless of your relationship status. You become okay with yourself.
Yes, and it's worth noting that this devotional is part of a larger ecosystem. The author, LaToya Jackson, runs Lesson in Every Day. They have a podcast, a Climbing Higher journal.
Right. Their slogan is, learn to live, live to learn.
It seems like the whole brand is about this continuous growth process. It's not just about surviving February.
No, the work doesn't stop because the calendar flips to March.
The closing page actually says, carry this posture beyond February. You don't just steward for 28 days and then go back to chaos. You take the rhythm with you.
So what does this all mean for us? Whether you're single, married, or it's complicated, I feel like there are takeaways here that go beyond just relationship status.
I think the universal takeaway is about the source of our stability. We live in a culture that tells us our value is determined by who picks us.
Did you get the job? Did you get the like? Did you get the date?
Exactly. This source material argues that our value is determined by who created us. And that shifts the focus from, will they like me, to, am I healthy? Am I whole? Do I like myself?
It changes the February narrative from I am lacking something to I am building something.
I am building something. I like that.
We started this deep dive acknowledging that February is loud, full of neon signs telling us we aren't enough. But I think we found a way to turn the volume down and tune into something a little more substantial.
It's about moving from the noise of expectations to the stillness of alignment, and finding that maybe, just maybe, you can laugh about the traffic along the way.
And hydrate. Seriously, drink some water.
Always hydrate. It's spiritual and practical.
So here's our final thought for you to chew on. We talked about the self-audit questions in the book, but we want to leave you with one that kind of combines everything we've discussed. The source asks us to check in with our hearts, so we're asking you to do the same.
Try asking yourself this. If you stopped looking for the right person today, just completely stopped the search, deleted the apps, paused the hunt, and focused entirely on becoming the right person, how would your daily rhythm change?
Would you sleep more? Would you pray more? Would you feel less anxious? Would you just breathe?
It's a question worth sitting with, because the answers might tell you where your focus really is.
Thank you for hanging out with us in this softer space today. We hope it brought you a little bit of that peace we talked about.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Take care of yourselves.